Have I told you lately that I love you? You guys rock, man. You're right in the center of the action. Yeah? For driving here. Yeah. Like you had a choice. Where are you supposed to go at this point? Yeah, that's the idea. That's what we got to do. They're taking ground. We got to take ground.
We got to show them that everything that they do is
take an inch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Push us in and block shit. As soon as they move and they do the wrong move, they show them. No, they do it this because they got ridicule.
You're awesome. You guys need anything? Are you good? Yeah.
No, we're pretty good.
You're good. Look. Oh yeah. Hey, there you go. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. We're gonna rock and roll. Take care. Thanks for everything, man. Yeah, you're welcome for the lives. Hey, I can read it today. What the hell? Yeah, it's all good, man. You know what? I've been waiting a long time for this, and we are most certainly not alone. It's pretty clear. We wonder how these guys will paint it, but they take their snippets and try to, yeah, whatever. No, done at all. Hey, maybe we'll get in the thick of the action. What do you think? Huh? You want to come along? Let's do it. What is that?
That's a cowbell.
It's literally the cows put that around their necks?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's the original one from Switzerland.
From Switzerland?
Yeah, I have another one at home.
That's a couple of big bells you've got there.
Exactly.
All right. All right, we're coming up upon Parliament Hill on the main stage. Hey!
downtown Ottawa here. I'd like to thank you all.
I regret to inform you on behalf of the city of Ottawa that we removed all the porta potties. But thank God some truckers decided to bring some for us. Huh?
Yeah, the truckers saved the day. Damn right they did, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, folks, thank you so much for being here tonight. I found somebody who came all the way from the West Coast, drove out from Vancouver with a group of young ladies to come out to the Truckers Convoy, and we're going to interview her here tonight. I'm kind of excited here. It's Abby Shirley Greif. I hope I'm saying that right. Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great, man.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming on the show. I think it's amazing. I appreciate it.
Hey, a pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you.
All right. So do you want to give us just a little bit on your background? Like, I mean, when did you first hear about the convoy? How did you get there? Did you go there with others? Give us a little bit.
Okay. I can still hear the video playing if that's there we go. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I had just gotten a little runaway to a cabin, and I got home and I checked the internet and saw the convoy, burst into tears, checked the date. I had 5 days to get ready. And I'm going. Like there was no question, I'm going.
Okay, and what date was this? When was this?
Oh God, dates here. Oh, I think we left Vancouver January 24th is when we started. So it was 5 days, January 19th.
Holy moly. And did you go with some other people or did you go by yourself? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a funny thing. So after I sat down and started making my list, I mean, I'm originally from Northern Ontario, so I've done the trip a lot of times, and I'm a school bus driver, so it doesn't bother me to go in the winter, right? So.
Oh, you're a school bus driver. That's so awesome.
Yeah, right. So it was like I'm going. So I just sat down, started making my list of what I needed and whatever. And about a half an hour later, I looked back on Facebook, and there was somebody had posted, "Hey, I'm going. Anybody want to go with me?" kind of thing. And I went, "Oh, I should check that out." Right. So yeah, so I sent a message, telling her, "Yeah, I'm from North Ontario, school bus driver, blah blah blah," and yeah, I'm from a little town called Hornpain. You probably don't know where that is, but it's Northern Ontario.
All right.
So, yeah, so she emailed back and went, "I know where Hornpain is. I'm from Timmins, and I'm a dump truck driver, and I have a 4x4."
Wow.
Went, "Oh, well, there's a match made in heaven."
Did you ever think you'd meet a dump truck driver on your way to Ottawa?
No, and she's about the same height as me. We're both about 5'4", so.
Oh my gosh. So you took 5 days to get there, and I guess that's the footage we're looking at now. Can you see the stuff that we're showing here now?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a compilation video that you put together. I think it's about 20 minutes long, something like that. But you go through a bunch of different steps of what happened here. You want to kind of give us what that was like driving in from Vancouver and what you saw and.
Oh, well, it was, I mean, it turned out, and she was from Souk. She was on Vancouver Island too, because I had no idea where she was, right?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I met her in Victoria the day before. We headed over, got a hotel room, and showed up at 6:00 in the morning at the meeting spot, right?
Wowee.
So yeah, so pull in, sing "O Canada," and hop in our vehicles, and away we go, right? And it was just, it was funny, a little thing that the little theme that started that seemed to be going on. We kept losing the convoy. Like only we could lose a convoy, right?
Well, actually, that's more common than you might think. And what ends up happening is inevitably somebody with a bunch of flags on their vehicle turns off to go to the washroom or grab a hamburger, and everybody in the convoy behind them, if they can't see who's in front of them, just turns off with them. So it does happen.
Yeah, we stopped in hope to look after a couple of things that had popped up and whatever. So we thought, hey, they're going over the Coca-Cola trucks. We'll catch them, right? No problem, right? Well, so we get back on the highway and we're booting it to catch up to them, and we're booting it, right? We're like, where the hell are they? They can't be that far ahead, right? And we got all the way to Kamloops to our meeting spot without ever catching them, like 4 hours. And we're like, what just happened there, right?
So are you saying that they were going that fast, that it took you that long, or you just got that turned around?
Well, we pulled up into the Kamloops stop and there was no trucks there either. And we went, well, there's no way they could have stopped and left already. Not a hope in hell, right? So we started talking to people and they're like, no, they haven't showed up yet. And we're like, we didn't pass them. Like, where the hell are they?
So did you find out what actually happened?
Well, to the best of our knowledge, because we've never actually had it confirmed, but what happened was they opened up all the truck scales along the way. So all the truckers had to pull into all the scales.
Oh, wow.
So they pulled into a scale and we flew past them, right?
Gotcha. Damn. Well, you are so excited about the convoy. I mean, this has obviously had an incredible impact on your life. So let's get it fast forward a little bit. So you ended up getting there on the 29th, you say, I think?
Yeah. I think it was the 29th we pulled in. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do for sleeping arrangements? And did you have a job? And was this expensive? And did you weigh any of this into were you concerned that you were doing something illegal?
No, I don't think that crossed my mind.
Oh, it didn't cross your mind that the police might oppose you and do all these things, no?
Well, I didn't think it. I was doing nothing illegal. I was doing nothing wrong.
And that has now been proven, evidently,
Well, exactly.
As of about a week ago. So that's amazing. So this is you getting into Ottawa here. This is you first seeing what's going on. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing.
So how long did you stay? And where did you sleep? And how did you cleanse yourself? Like, give people who weren't there really have no idea of what it was like. So can you kind of just describe your daily routine? How would you do it? Like what?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm on a disability, so I have some mobility issues, so I can't get around that good.
Okay.
So right away, as soon as I knew I was going, I went on. As soon as we got the map for our truck stops, I went and booked Airbnbs in every place, and then I turned around and I booked an Airbnb in Ottawa for 10 days.
Okay, and were you able to keep it the full 10 days?
Yep. Yeah, actually, due to circumstances, we actually had to go back after a week, but we ended up giving it to a couple other Freedom guys who got kicked out of their hotel for 3 days. So,
all right. So you obviously must have met quite a few people at the.
Oh my God!
There.
Oh my God! So many people, right? It was just insane how many people, and just I'm telling you, just flying across the country on the wings of love, and that trip and the love that we got all the way across, man, it was just flipping amazing, right? So we were already just flying when we got there, right?
Right.
We couldn't stop laughing, right? It was just this total. Oh my God!
So did you have friends and family who maybe didn't understand what you were doing? Did you have to did you have
It,
to
it,
explain it?
it's been 4 years since I've seen my family.
Wow. Let's
Yeah.
that's quite a statement. That's what is there a reason for that? Is that your choice? Is that their choice or
Nope, not my choice at all.
so
No, the door's slammed
why don't your family want to see you?
because I have unacceptable views, and I'm gonna kill grandparents, and you know the drill, right?
Do they still feel that way now?
Well, every once in a while I throw out my little, hey, I'm still here, door's still open, and never get any response. So nothing I can
Wow.
do. I know.
So
I know.
that is in stark contrast to the type of the feelings that we experienced when we were at the convoy. Clearly,
Right? Like
but these are all strangers.
I sent them this little, one of the reasons I had this little, somebody make up this little video for me is that so I could send it to them and go, look at what I did. Right? Like before I left, I called my grandkids and talked to them and told them what I was doing, and they were freaking out. They're like, "No, Nana, the National Guard, they're just going to call the National Guard. They're going to throw you in jail and blah blah blah." They were just freaked right out, and I said, "Well, you know what? If I had any doubt about going before, you just took all that away, because I will not leave a world where you have to worry about speaking up and having the National Guard come in. I am going to bring a safe world for you." And that's the last conversation we had.
Wow, and you still haven't seen your parents. See, I can't get over that. I mean, I feel very thankful in that I have a family that's quite supportive. However, I just can't even imagine that the kind of isolation. So, what about your friends that you went down there with? How did they? Are you still in touch with them or?
Oh yeah, Kelly and I. Oh, we're lifelong friends now.
Oh yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, we're the honkin' honeys, her and I.
The honkin' honeys. Okay, well,
Yeah.
on behalf of the honkin' honeys, I'm gonna play a video now that actually highlights an aspect of things that people didn't really take note of. Now, if you'll remember, we had a hard time getting fuel to the truckers because they
Oh
stopped
my God.
right. So,
Yeah.
but there was no lack of generosity on the streets, and there was no lack of fuel that needed to be delivered. So this here is a shot down at Confederation Park. Happened right around this day 2 years ago, of some of the care packages that came in, as well as some of the just before I got to bed last night, there was a table by the bubble bus, and people started bringing gifts to be handed out. We have more toiletries and socks and all the different things that people could need. Wow, today is busy. All right, now I'm just coming out of the bus. I don't know what's going on any more than you do, so let's take a look around. I'll show you, but man, it's picking up. Did you get a chance to come to the bubble bus? Did you get a chance to come to the bubble bus?
I did see the bubble bus. I remember the bus. I can't remember if I met you or not, because I just met way too many people. But I did see the bubble bus.
Yeah! I love you, Aaron! Yeah, buddy! It was just, when you're locked up for so long, you finally get out in public. So the city of Ottawa has removed the containers, all of these toilets that are here, they've removed them from the other parts of Ottawa, but we have them down here. So there is a place to go. The truckers are having a bit of a hard time, but we're working on that. Oh, some horsepower. I understand these horses are brought in to carry fuel. Yeah, did you know? They brought in the horses. Oh, bonjour. Hello. Oh,
fuel to the truckers.
what is their names? The name Blanc and Rio. Ooh, he was a little aggressive to me. So anyway, yeah, these guys, the horses here are from And because the police are not allowing us to bring in fuel to the truckers in order to keep them warm overnight and cook their food, we brought in our own horses in order to do that. How cool is that, huh?
Right? That's what we do with our horses.
You know, it was quite amazing to see all the different and yesterday we saw some footage of a couple of guys actually riding bareback on horses down Wellington. So all of the swaths of Canadian life was represented for sure, you know.
Oh, I'll tell you, yeah.
There, right? And then all the people walking in with the gas can purses.
Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta find. You know what? I should actually sort that video. I'm gonna take a look through and maybe see if I can find it. But my wife Thundra and our friend V actually made, I think, like 10 of them or 11 of them, and they had all the lights in them, and oh yeah, the gas can purses. Oh, I gotta find that.
Right? Oh man, that was so awesome.
You know. So what else did you see at the convoy that you'd maybe never seen before that maybe took you a little bit by surprise? Or
pretty much everything. I think one of the most poignant moments for me was when they set up the bouncy castles and just watch just watching the kids have just, they were so joyful. They could play together. They could, see one another. They could, right? I just watched them for almost 2 hours bawling my eyes out because it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Oh, and did you get a chance to read the notes that were inside the truckers' things? I mean, all from kids all over the place giving their, allowances to the truckers and everything. Okay, so the gas can purses. All right, I think
letting them run out of fuel. I know a lot of what people might.
I don't think we have to hear it, but I think I could show somewhere in there. Oh gosh, I was on that one too. Now this was on the Kevin J. Johnson show. I don't know if you know that particular show. Kevin J. Johnson out in the West Coast. He does a lot of things.
Okay.
I'm trying. Oh, there they are. Here we go.
Like so. And you can carry it around quite easily. Yes. It can also be filled with water, wine, and of course, diesel fuel. And a little fire friend who's a part of the Church of Bubble is on it as well to support the truckers.
Yay! We're gonna see if we can flip this thing around. Hold on a second. Un momento.
That was freaking awesome. I love that.
Yeah, we definitely had some fun out there as well as taking on the elements and such. We definitely had some fun, that's for sure.
Yep.
So,
well, I was a little concerned getting, down there and back. I just I go for, 4 or 5 hours and go home and have a rest and then go back and whatever. And I was just worried about getting in all the time and whatever. But I had this little spot about 2 blocks away.
Oh yeah.
That I found, and I can walk 2 blocks. I'm in.
Well, good on you for coming down. I mean, you didn't allow your disability to get in the way. You didn't allow anything to get in the way. The distance, the time, none of it. Did you suffer any repercussions? Did you ever get a bank account frozen or, did anything like that happen to you?
I didn't get any of that stuff. I don't. I don't know why. I mean, I was just as vocal as the next person kind of thing. Well, not as everybody, but much as I can be and whatever. But no, other than the repercussions that everybody seemed to go through or whatever, I didn't get any of that stuff. And like I say, we were there for a week. I mean, we got there and just, like we'd, met a lot of the truckers along the way and had their contacts. And when we pulled into Ottawa, we sat there for 6 hours and after 6 hours, we went, we're not getting in. Right.
So,
So
what, you were stuck outside of the city? I don't understand.
yeah. Oh, they were lined up for miles. They wouldn't let us in. Right.
So explain that. Like, I mean, how many miles? What do you mean? Like, where were you stuck in? How many? And do you know of how many other lineups there were like this? Like, I'd really like to get a good idea of what was going on.
Oh, when we pulled in, they let a certain amount in and they threw up the blocks, right? They wouldn't let anybody else in. So we all sat there. I mean, there was trucks on the freeway for a couple of days. So we were contacting the ones we knew that were out there. So we pulled out, went to our Airbnb, and then we started contacting them then and said, what do you need? Right? Do you need food? Do you need, we'll go get some cans and stuff like that for porta potties or whatever, right? We'll bring you whatever you need. We'll be the go-between, right?
Yeah.
And then they all answered back and went, nope. A couple of trucks pulled up with porta potties. People are driving by, dropping off food all the time. And then they opened up a couple of farms around the city for all these people to go and pull in because they sat in the freeway for a day or two.
They opened up farms?
Yeah, outside the city.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you see, I didn't even know that part. I was not even aware of that. So these were just individuals who maybe we should see if do you remember the name of the individual? Well, anyway, we'll talk about that later. I'd like to find somebody that maybe had one of the farms. I'd like to interview them. I think it'd be great to hear from them. It's totally didn't even know. Now I don't know how did you eat when you were at the convoy?
Oh my God.
Huh?
Oh my God. Right. Well, actually, Kelly and I packed breakfast and lunch for the whole way and we'll figure out supper or whatever. And we never touched anything. Nothing. We were fed the whole friggin' way. And we ended up, when we drove back a week later, we stopped at Coots and we donated all our food to them.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
There was so much of an abundance of food.
Oh,
I mean,
we were turning it away all the way across Canada. Like, I don't know if you heard the Winnipeg story or not, but it was just incredible.
What's the Winnipeg story? No, talk to us.
Okay, so we're pulling into Winnipeg and to our stop, like the Flying J or whatever it was, and the Hutterites, I think it was 5 colonies, got together and they cooked us all supper. They had it all set up for us. 5 of the Hutterite colonies. Yeah. Oh yeah. So as we're pulling in, I don't know, there was a big kerfuffle because the cops show up, of course. Yeah. And they're saying there's too many people here, right? You can't pull in. So they turn around and they go, okay, no problem. And poof, it's cleared, right? Okay, now they can pull in. And they're like, no, there's children here. You can't pull in. They would. There was no way they were letting us in there, right? And we sat outside of Winnipeg for, I don't know, 5-6 hours waiting to pull in and whatever. And there's no way they would not let us. So that we had to end up going around the ring road and headed to Kenora. Those Hutterites packed everything up and drove to Kenora and set up at the rec center outside at 40 below and fed us at 9 o'clock at night when we pulled into Kenora.
Just to take care of you.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, man, I was blown away by the level of generosity. I don't know if you're watching this video just here in the background, but This was table after table after table after table. Whether it was wood-fired pizza, oh my God, I can't even tell you. I got a Chef
Right?
G,
The soup guys, yeah.
right? There was some linguine with Chef G, and it didn't matter where you turned, there was always something going on,
Right?
which was amazing to me. It was 24/7,
Yep. It was just just freaking amazing. It was just like you can't plan that shit,
You most certainly can't. That's the truth.
Right? It's just a bunch of people with big hearts got together.
So when you say that, big hearts, I mean, did you see acts of generosity occurring around you, or did you see? And I don't want to, I don't want to paint too glowy of a picture, but man, honestly, I really did think it was pretty damn glowy. Did you see good things going on in the streets, or?
It was just incredible. Everybody's hugging each other and helping each other, and it was just like I say, we were constantly going, can we help here? Can we help here? Can we help here? And everybody's like, no, we're all covered. We're all covered. We're all covered. We're like, everything was all looked after. It was like, well, we want to do something, right?
It was quite amazing how much got done, and yet there was no central organization behind it, which is really, that's really the thing.
Well, and on the trip across, like from Vancouver, like I say, we were fed every stop. Every stop they were giving out windshield washer. They were giving us pieces of water. They were giving us fruit and like just sandwiches and like tons of stuff. Oh, we pulled into Thunder Bay, and this guy's walking around with freaking homemade cinnamon buns.
Oh my God, right? Like minus whatever. What a thing. What a thing. Yeah, these are just like, I mean, I wish, like, if you can see, look, in these boxes and stuff, okay, I know my thing's a little glitchy, folks. I apologize about that. But on here, there was bags of gloves, and there was like maple syrup, like 4-gallon drums of maple syrup. There was little propane tanks. Like, oh, gee. I mean, and people like this giving them to you.
Right?
For free.
Right? Well, we had bought a bunch of the Canadian rain suits from the dollar store. We bought a whole big bag because we thought at least that'll help get the wind out if somebody doesn't have anything, right? And of course, everybody was looked after. So there was that one fellow walking around all the time with the big bag of hats and mitts and whatever. So we stopped him and we threw all those raincoats in with him, right? So he could give those out too.
Yeah, I saw that happen a couple of times. You'd see people that were going around to the trucks, and then somebody would pull them aside and say, "Hey, could you give this away to them also?"
Yeah, right.
We were doing that with some strawberries, and man, it was so much fun. I couldn't believe that there was the amount of generosity that there was.
Right.
Did you see any of the shenanigans? Did you see anything that you didn't like? Anything that you thought was kind of like offside, or?
There was 2 experiences that were in that whole week. And that was from Ottawa residents, about 3 or 4 blocks back. That were, fuck you, go home to, oh, sorry, that were.
That's all good. I mean, if that's what they said, that's what they said.
But other than that, and I had one other experience where I walked right down to the back end of the line of the trucks, like way down at the end. And there was a little group of people standing around there. And so I kind of walked up and went, wow, I wonder what's going on here. And I see, and it was CTV, and they were interviewing this little group of people. And of course, they had the camera pointed the other way from the trucks, right? So I'm like, well, isn't this interesting? I'm just going to have a listen, right? So So I listened, and they're like, oh yeah, a few people have come down, like all the bullshit, right? And I'm going, oh my God, are you serious? So when it was over, I walked over and I just went, you just balls out lied. If you
Right.
turn that camera around, all you had to
Standing
do
outside.
you balls out lied. Like, and I saw you, right?
Yeah.
And they're like F off type thing and whatever. And I'm like, wow. Like, it's just wow.
I have to say one of the most incredible compliments I ever got was when I was at a rally, and this gentleman said that he really wanted to introduce me to his parents. So I got introduced to the parents. But what was happening was him and his wife were watching live streams in one room, and his parents were watching the news in another room. And the parents were going, "No, this is what's happening," and then the kids said, "No, come and see what's happening here on the screen right now. It's live. You can't argue with it." And then they looked at the kids and they went, "Well, you mean the news lies?" And it was like, oh my God, that is like, can you imagine just by broadcasting the truth, how we can take people out of the backdrop of deception that they're being immersed in a daily.
Can you even imagine if they had done the truth, if they had actually reported the truth, what would have happened?
Well, yeah, man. But you know what? And the thing is that everybody's still trying to do that. Everybody's still trying to get things reported on in the news. And like, I mean, I was just on a meeting with a bunch of people who want to do some things, and they want to get mainstream advertising. Well, folks, it's been co-opted. There's no truth in it anymore. It's just a big propaganda machine. I'm sorry to tell you this. I hate to tell you it, but the government gave them a whole bunch of money, like $600 million, and like they control it now. Anything they're seeing on the news, folks, is on there specifically because they want you to see it, not because it has anything to do with the truth, not because it has anything to do with enlightening you, making you feel better. As a matter of fact, don't you feel way more crappy after you watch the news?
Right? It's not rocket science. What are you doing?
I remember being in the hospital and sitting there being forced to watch the news because that just happened to be the thing that was up on the screen.
Yeah.
And the ailment I was in the hospital for wasn't as sick as the friggin' TV that I was watching was making me feel.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Which is why I think we need a good news channel. You know what I mean? A channel where we could have some fun and
right, like where's Walter Cronkite, right?
Oh well, no. Now we're talking about reporters who actually knew what a journalistic integrity meant.
Well, exactly, right. So
and their word meant something. And when they hit a source, they took it to their grave, and they wanted to get to the bottom of the story so that people would actually know what the truth was. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Yeah, let's bring that stuff back. But you know what? Right? We can't, unfortunately, because we're censored against. Okay, they don't want to hear it. So they just omit and delete. So the enterprising young people I was speaking with earlier want to do a satire news station that kind of makes fun of both sides a little bit. So yeah, sounds like fun.
Canada has 21 minutes.
There you go. And you know what? That was the reference that they mentioned too. They mentioned that reference.
Right.
Yeah, because why not? So all right. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go up here and I want to listen to an interview or two at night. Walk around, just speak with some people and see if we can
see what happens.
Some of the ones that we meet on the street here.
I love her.
You see that?
She's so gorgeous. Loving you?
That's Thunder, and she's the most beautiful woman in the world. Look at her.
Right?
Oh my gosh, she's so hot. I think she might even give me trouble there. No, she's not. Anyway, sorry.
Squirrel.
Yeah, well, she's a squirrel that I'm not even good into the nut reference. That would be really bad. I'm sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. This is us walking in the streets here. No, you know what? I'm not going to use that one because yeah, no, I'm not going to use that one. So yeah, we were up all day and night. Were you generally downtown during the day? Were you there at night? I mean, what did your schedule afford you? I know you mentioned a couple hours a day and then you'd retire, but
Yeah, well, we used to go down in the morning and then, go home mid-afternoon for a little bit and have a lay down and whatever, and usually a hot bath and then back down at night.
that is
We never
so
stayed there too late at night or whatever, but it was just, I don't know, you just wandered around, hugged people and laughed and did what you could and just, it was just, it was perfect. It was just, like a, that must have been what Woodstock was like, you know?
I often
ladies and gentlemen.
do the exact same thing. It was like a Canadian Woodstock of sorts. Without a lot of the loud music. I mean, it wasn't really like that. There was parties that popped up. But yeah, no, it was very much like
We're on our nighttime patrol.
So this is Midnight Patrols, and we'd inevitably get to talk to some characters. I like this guy here. Let's have a listen to what this young man has to say.
Troopers! Hey, what do you say, guys? We're still here. How's that? What do you mean still here? What else are we gonna do? Come on. What's going on? Where'd you guys just come from?
Right there.
Right there?
Man.
Okay. We're gonna go down. We heard there might be a little bit of a build-up, so we're gonna go take a look at the blockade here. We don't know.
Wow, we've seen loaders full of barricades, like big fences, like 10 by 10. Well, they were on that side, but a little bit further down there. That was 2 hours ago, maybe, and then we talked with the OPS. He's just like safety, right? And he told us, like, yeah, they're gonna put barricades around you and guys, and then try to, so people can come in, right? And try to get people out of here, like one by one, or something like that,
Oh, interesting.
Like
Right.
whatever.
So any tips of where we might want to go to find nefarious activity?
This is and this is how we would get our intel on the streets. We'd literally just go down, talk to somebody, find out what they knew, and then cross-reference it with somebody else, and eventually we get the whole story.
Right? Well, yeah. I mean, they changed the whole damn plan as soon as we showed up, right? And that's why all those truckers never even got a chance to be down there. They were all out in fields everywhere, right? Because they changed the whole plans and blocked it all off, right?
I wonder. There was so much going on outside of the city, and that I never spent any time there. So I would love to interview these ones that spent time outside of the city and what that was like, man. I'm telling you.
Okay, I'll send you a couple of names. I'm pretty sure I know who was there and whatever. I'll send you a couple of names.
Yeah, you totally should, man, because
for sure. It was a whole nother thing. Like I'm talking the next day there was a guy right on it saying, you know what? I just plowed my field. Come on in.
no way, eh?
Oh yeah. It was great. And then another one showed up and it was great. It was just, just right. It was just, I know there was so much going on all the time that you never get all the pieces, right? Kind of thing, right?
Well, I'm hoping to through this show, honestly. I really want, because we've got access to hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage. And that's something I want to put a plug in for here right now. Not like they're sponsors. We don't get any money. We're not doing this for any kind of money or anything, but we have found a resource, convoylive.ca, which has a bunch of the different live streamers footage put on timelines on a map of Ottawa, so you could see what was happening when.
Wow.
So convoylive.ca. Yeah, check it out. It's a cool little resource. And I think we're actually going to skip to there right about now. Not just yet, but we're gonna get there.
Do they cover like the actual convoy right from like ground zero, Vancouver? Or?
No, it's only an overlay map of Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
it didn't.
for me because I didn't get to see a lot of it. So I'll go there because I know all about the convoy.
Yeah, yeah. This is just the. It's funny. I'm so centric on actually what happened in Ottawa when in reality maybe I should be chasing all the ones coming in from all the different places.
Well, I'd be
Yeah.
happy to share a little bit of my experience on that.
Do
Like
it, please. That's what we want to know. Yeah.
well, I got to tell you, when we got we're about halfway and whatever, we started talking to guys and stuff like that, and they were like, and every one of them said 75 to 80% of the vehicles behind the trucks are women.
Oh, yeah. That's something we've seen since the beginning of this thing. I'll tell you, the women seem to, I don't know what it is. No, it's true. It's really true. The women
Right?
have put the shame in this, and I don't like to play the gender thing. I don't generally
I
do
don't
it,
like
but
it either, but yeah, just to, it's, I mean, most of the focus was on the truckers and not a lot of the female truckers from what I talked to them, but a lot of the focus was on the male truckers. But man, it was like all those cars behind, that was like 75 to 80% of women just like us going, we'll support you, man. Here we come.
it was encouraging as anything, I have to tell you, to see all of the different people from different nationalities and from so far away,
Right? Just incredible. And we drove like through BC and got to Calgary for the first night and whatever. We didn't pull into Calgary till midnight and then had to meet at 6 again. So everybody just kind of went and slept kind of thing for a few hours and whatever. And we pull into the meeting spot in Calgary, and I got to tell you, it was just breathtaking. Like it just exploded in Calgary because all the north came down, like everybody kind of met there, you know what I mean? And we're pulling in going, holy shit. Right? It was like crazy. That's where it exploded. That's where it started going nuts.
So tell me, what do you do at home to continue this kind of like thing? This isn't something you just do one and then you go home and you go, okay, I did my thing. I mean, how do you keep up with people and the things? What do you do?
Well, still to do the rallies and stuff like that. And, the convoys, I have a little PA system. So, we use that for several times at some of the gatherings on Vancouver Island and stuff like that. And I'm a singer-songwriter, so I write inspirational songs. So I, put the music out there, do the petitions and, you just do what you can, right?
Okay, well, now you can't go telling me that you write and sing inspirational songs without singing us an inspirational song of some sort.
What?
You gotta sing for us now. You just let the cat out of the bag.
No. I will tell you a very inspirational story though about it.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay. So I had my 5 days before I left, right? And I knew several of the pretty well-known musicians on the island that were freedom friendly and whatever. So I just in between packing and whatever, I'm like emailed them all and said, hey, you want to donate to a playlist to help, some music for us to fly across the country with? And they were like, sure. So they all donated an original song, and it's on SoundCloud. It's called 10-4 Good Buddy, Musicians for Freedom. And yeah. So I put that out to all the groups. So I don't know. I have no idea who's listened and who hasn't. But anyway, so my songs are on there too. I got a couple in there. So
I'm at SoundCloud. Tell me where to go. I want to see if I can find the song.
Okay, it's called 10-4 Good Buddy, Musicians for Freedom.
Okay, 10-4.
Good Buddy.
Yeah.
Musicians for Freedom.
10-4. Good.
I emailed you a link to it actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the second email I sent you has the link in it.
Okay.
So not only did they do that, they all dropped off CDs, like a bunch, no, most of them gave me a bunch of CDs. So all across Canada, I had this suitcase full of CDs. And every time we stopped, I'd grab the handful and go and give them out to everybody.
No way.
Yeah.
So you're doing promotions for the you're doing
You
promotional
drive
work.
across Canada, you need some music, man. Like that was my contribution.
That is so cool.
So the coolest one was I don't know, somewhere in Ontario. We had stopped and whatever, and so I have my little bag and I'm giving them out and whatever. And I mean, I'm giving them out and people are going like, this one freaking trucker hands me $100, and I'm like, no, we're donating this to you, right? Like he goes, no, here's $100. So we had an angel fund going to help people out and whatever. So that's another story, but yeah, so that went in the angel fund, whatever. But anyway, so it's got this one guy and he pulls out a CD, and I have a sailing CD. I'm a sailor, so it's all sailing songs, right? And that is the CD he pulled out of that bag, and he looks at it and he just bursts out laughing, right? And I'm like, what are you laughing at, right? He said, come with me, little lady, right? Walks me back about two, three rows of trucks. There's his truck, and what's he towing? A big freaking sailboat behind it. Freedom!
Get out of here.
Right?
Serendipity. Do you believe in that? Do you believe
all
in serendipity?
the way. All the way.
Oh, look, a boat. We were just talking about a boat. There's a boat.
Oh,
That's somebody came in a convoy with a boat. Is that the boat?
No, it's a sailboat.
Oh, a
I would
sailboat.
love to find the guy, or I would love to hear from anybody who got a CD or listen to the playlist. Like I have no idea where anything went, right? Like we had to have, like I said, I had a big suitcase full of CDs that I gave to everybody.
Boy,
Be nice to do a little story on it.
There is a lot of musicians, a lot of different types of music that has popped up around this. I never had an interest in any of the rap kind of things, but there's a couple of artists that rap about some of the common things that are happening these days. What place do you feel that music has in this? I mean, in Woodstock, clearly it had a huge effect. But how do you feel that music affects what's happening now with this freedom movement, if you will?
We need more of it. Lots more of it. Because when you're listening to music, you look around and what do you see? Smiles.
People moving, people dancing, having fun.
Yeah.
Moving,
dancing, having fun, right? People singing aren't fighting. Like music can bring peace to the world, man. It's just finding the venues to do it. So okay, well, I'm going to throw this out there here, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I've been working on this for a year, and I've been putting it out, and usually when it's right, it happens, kind of thing. So who knows? But I want to pull a Willie.
You want to pull a Willie? Hold on a second. What does that mean?
I want to pull a Willie. I want to do Farm Aid Canada.
Oh, a Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
A Farm Aid. Wow.
Farm Aid Canada.
I think the farmers need all the help they can get. I mean, what does that look like?
Okay, so what I've narrowed it down to, so the logistics as far as I can, because times are tough or whatever, like just put out the date, say, okay, March 5th, we're having Farm Aid Canada. Organize something in your area. Get together, organize it. There's enough musicians everywhere that'll do it. We know that. We all know how to do potlucks like no tomorrow. We rock potlucks, like come on. Yeah. So we show up at a farmer, right? show up at a farmer's field and whatever. And the logistics of it is have a draw for 2 of local farm businesses. Pick out 2 names. So people go and donate and get your ticket for the farm aid. And then if you're a farmer, you go and register at those businesses, those 2, either one of those businesses, and say, okay, so, say they get $1,000 and 100, 100 farmers register. So at the end of it, you just split it between them all, right? So that supports the business, it supports the farmers, and nobody has to worry about any money.
I'd love to talk about a world where nobody has to worry about money. It is, I've got to tell you, one of the most incredible things that people don't have the money. They still end up finding a way to come out and do something on behalf of other people.
I'm on disability, for God's sakes, and I made it to Ottawa back.
Yeah. It just frustrates. And here's the thing that's happening in the freedom movement too, is that a lot of people are frustrated. They don't want to go back to they don't want to have to spend all of their fuel and everything. Like, people are saying, are you going to Ottawa? You going to Ottawa and all that kind of stuff. Look, I'd love to go to Ottawa, okay, but I'm like 5 hours away. Okay, so it takes me that much gas there, that much gas back, wherever I'm going to sleep. I mean, the bus is going to like an incredible amount of gas because it's a great big brick in the wind. I end up taking that. At least I got a place to stay, but it's freaking freezing. But whatever, But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and that's what I'm saying. And some of these freedom people are just, most I would suggest, are just workers, like blue collar, regular people who have to work for a living. Some of them not even. Some of them on unemployment. There's a lot of
right.
So how should we best spend our time and energy and efforts? I mean, obviously you have your speaker system. You go out, you rally, make sure that you tell your truth to people, so that hopefully what? Like, I mean, how do you know you're successful?
Well, you just trust, I guess. That's that old trust factor, right? But I think the way to do it now is to do it like, okay, on this day, gather locally. And that's what I like about the music thing, right? It's because it'll draw other people in too, right? Because they're coming for the music too, right? So it's a more welcoming atmosphere, right? And then it gives you a safer place to have have the conversations and stuff like that. But I think we have to do it local. We got to stop pulling money out of people's pockets. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I mean, if there was a date, and I would suggest that the date shouldn't be arbitrary, although I love March 5th. I think it's great. It's a fantastic date for me, one of my favorite in the world, specifically because that's when is the anniversary of my wife. And I think she's amazing. And,
I don't even know what day that is, but I just think that if we can get a hall, I mean, I'd love to have it in a farmer's fields all around the country, right? But, the farmers are busy during that time of year, right? So
that's it. So there's, but I love the idea of a decentralized getting together.
Yeah. And just have themes, right? Just have themes, like once a month get-togethers, themes that are welcoming for everybody to come.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we sure.
But the thing is, this requires organization. And here's the thing, a lot of people, because they have to make a living and because they've got families and it's very difficult for them to invest all the time, energy, and effort in making this happen. So how do we make it easy for people? How what can people at home do? I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that are keyboard warriors and that's useful. I think that a little bit too much of it can be not useful. I think can actually be damaging to us. I think that we need to get our faces out from the screens. Although, thank you for watching. We really appreciate every single one of you here tonight. I don't want to leave just yet. I mean, we still got another few minutes, right? Hang on for a little bit longer. But no, seriously, right? We got to get out in nature. We got to see each other face to face, and we got to do things like we did, at the convoy, coming out and just showing support for one another.
Yeah, but I mean, And that also does the, you know, it's also has the side benefit of pulling your community together. Because we got to gather. We're too divided and separated and whatever. We need to get back together again. And the only way you can do that is if you could gather like within a radius that doesn't cost you so much, right? Like, you know, if it's a music festival, right?
Hold on. Like a 15-minute city?
No, at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours.
Hold on a second. People might not know what a 15-minute city is. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to maybe kind of explain to people what is a 15-minute city.
Bullshit.
Yeah, well, I prefer to understand it though. Like, what is it? Like, what does it mean?
It's crazy. It's taking
Gentlemen,
everybody out of
welcome
the
to downtown
suburbs.
Ottawa.
It's trapping you all in one place so they control you. That's what it is in a nutshell.
Okay. And
Me.
yeah, it's true. Without getting into all the digital currencies and all that other kind of stuff, it's kind of like, yeah.
So in Parksville, where I was living downtown, in 2 years, within 10 blocks of me, they built 13 high rises.
That's a lot of people.
You go and look around your town and see how many. Go and look and see what was built in the last 3 years while we were in our room.
Well, I didn't spend much time in my room.
Neither did I. I was still like, but you know what I'm saying, right?
I did see the construction. Absolutely, I did, and I still do. I mean, in this part of the world, there's yeah.
And so they're building up all the urban centers so that they can fill it full of people that they've starved out of the farms, and that way you stay in your little 15-minute city and you be a good enough citizen and earn enough credits, they might let you out once in a while.
Okay, so people have probably seen movies like this, science fiction movies, but let me assure you folks, this is not science fiction. This is something that is happening in different parts of the world. It has been proposed by our government, and some people, for some reason, think it's a good idea to be a little number on somebody else's spreadsheet and have every single aspect of our lives monitored and restricted and afforded to us, allowed to us by some overlord who presses buttons on things and says you're a bad person because you did something we didn't like. It is Orwellian. It's so backwards. It's not even funny. Ladies and gentlemen, if you appreciate your freedom and you appreciate living in a place whereby you get to act in the way that you choose to act, we have to start understanding and resisting many of these initiatives that are not in the best interest of the municipalities or the people in those municipalities.
Well, I mean, the thing is, most people are the majorities are crammed in cities, right? So they're already there. So they're going, well, what's the matter with that? I'd love to have everything within 15 minutes of me, instead of driving in Vancouver for an hour to go get a coffee, right? Because there's so much.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, though, isn't it? If we allow it, we are going to be convenienced out of existence.
Oh, we already have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, unless we ourselves put ourselves into a very inconvenient situation, it's inconvenient to go to the gym and work out if you want to get stronger. It's inconvenient to save up money if you want something. It's much easier to get a credit card or just eat a donut and sit around and watch videos all night long. Ladies and gentlemen, inconvenience is the way to get stronger. When we take that inconvenience on, we don't have to be inconvenienced by being poor and destitute some point time down the future.
Right? You exactly. You're going to be inconvenienced sometime. Sometime in your life, it's going to happen, and whatever. It's just, what do you want? What kind of inconvenience do you want? Do you want one where you have control, or do you want one where they control you?
Well, there you go. And I could bet a few bucks that it was pretty damn inconvenient to drive 5 days to get out in the snow with a bunch of freaks dancing in the streets like this.
Right?
Playing soccer in the snow. I mean, what?
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't call that an inconvenience because it was the best fucking experience in my life.
I can tell. Even I have to tell you, it was so damn cute when I saw you when you first came on the show here, and you were sitting backstage, and the video was playing of the convoy, and all I could see was you were just like, and I could totally tell that this was a time of your life that you cherished.
Oh man, it's I mean that like that's Canada. The convoy is Canada. That's Canada, right? Like it's the people. It's I mean there were times like I remember the one we pulled up to this little gas station somewhere, I don't know, and we pull up and we get out and there's a little Jeep on the other side, and the girl looks over, sees our flags, bursts into tears, falls out of her Jeep, and literally crawls over to us. And we held her for like 10 minutes. And she just bawled her eyes out like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. And just like that was our experience all across Canada. There's people outside at 40 below for hours waiting just to wave at us.
I will never. Yeah, I will never forget when I was heading in the night before a bunch of them arrived. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and it was dark, and there was an overpass, and it was a snowstorm, and you couldn't see a thing. All I saw was the silhouette of some being, okay, holding a can of flame. One individual was like 10:30 at night, freezing in the storm, and people could hardly even see the person. But they were there by themselves, and I don't know who they were, but they were my freedom man or woman. In my mind, that's the picture that always comes back. Just one individual doing what they could do, hanging on to that flag, man. They weren't doing it for anybody else. Nobody could tell who they were. You couldn't tell what gender they were. You couldn't tell anything.
Yeah, there one. Right, there was one like that in Northern Ontario. Like you say, that picture, I can picture right now. We come around a corner, and like Northern Ontario, it's barren and towns are far apart and whatever. We come around the corner in the middle of nowhere, and there's this person with the flag. Right? One person out there just, and we're like, oh my God, there's one awake person in my town, and I'm it, and I'm out here doing it. Right? It was like
you mentioned a term there, and I really wanted to unpack it just a little bit before we go here. Talk to me about the term awake. What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, awake. I don't know. Like, I don't like those terms or whatever. I would more say conscious of the state of humanity is what I. If you ask me to, probably.
What is the state of humanity? Give it for us. What is the state of humanity right now?
It's absolutely amazing on some levels, because I really believe this needed to happen, and I think Trump was a big part of this. He got the white sheets off so that people could see what was really going on. That was kind of the start of it all and whatever, but this needed to have, people needed to, it's gone too far, and it was at the point that you need to pay attention what's going on. You're going to be, you will never have the opportunity to fix it. So that, and we went too far away from each other and caring for each other. And we got back to
now. Aren't we talking the truth now at the bottom of it all? Somehow, ladies and gentlemen, we have become distant from one another. But and I would implore that this young woman's family reconsider. She cares about you, and she cares about the rest of us, and she does what she can with what she has on behalf of others. And if I were you, I would be proud to be associated with this person, this fine human being beside me. So I want to thank you for coming on tonight, man. It was great. It was so unexpected. It was just, I'm so glad you came.
Oh man, it was so nice for you to invite me. I mean, all you do, man, you're just such a bright friggin' light out there. I just love you, right? It's just look at this light just beaming everywhere, right? So one of my songs is like, and that is, I'm gonna glow in the dark for the world to see.
All right. And hopefully it's not because we just ate plutonium.
Right.
That would be bad. Let's not glow in the dark like that.
But man, thank you for all the love and light that you share around there, man. And it's just it's just emanates from you. It's who you are. You can see it, you can feel it, and it's just so appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That means the world to me. I really I used to have a hard time taking compliments, but I'm going to take every one I can get right now, especially from great people like you. Thank you.
You're
And
really needed. You're making a huge difference. Like the bubbles were perfect. They were just
you know what the bubbles are. The bubbles are to disarm people. Same thing as the music. It's the same thing. If people are dancing, they're listening to the music. They can't be sad. When somebody's like kind of catches a bubble and wanders off, they've forgotten all of their issues. They're not worried about things anymore. So the bubbles work.
That's perfect.
Hey, well, we get each other now, don't we? Well, thank you so much. I hope you come back every night at 7:00. We'll be doing this until about the 20th of February. So it'd be great to have you come and bring friends. And thank you, every single one of you that have come. If people would like to reach out to you for any reason, do you have any advice to them?
Get the fuck back in your heart. And act like it. Like, come on. Just always ask yourself, am I coming from my heart or my ego? Just try and pay attention to that, man. I've done tons of work on it. So, because, man, we all go there because that's who we are. We're human, right? But it's a choice. It's a choice. Right?
It is a choice. It is a choice. And
right?
As you like, if I exude light, it's not because that's just who I am or whatever. It's an effort. And there's times when I don't exude light, but I don't generally put my face in front of people because I don't want them to have that. So if I'm going to go in front of people, I want to take responsibility enough to shine something out to help something instead of dragging people down.
Right?
Sometimes we need help and we need to ask for that too. But yeah. All
so
right.
And then I'll do a little plug. If you want to listen to my music, abbygrace.ca is my website, and Abby Grace, I went on all Spotify and all those guys. I'm on there as of a week ago.
All right. Abby Grace, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave with this clip. Thank you. Good night. And thank you so much for coming and joining us. I appreciate it, Abby.
Awesome. Thank you. It was an honor.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming here tonight. This has been a recap of the convoy and those who have been there. Tonight we had Abby all the way from Vancouver sharing some of her experiences with us. We thank you for coming every night at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to be on the show, just reach out, send an email to churchofbubbles@gmail.com, churchofbubbles@gmail.com with some supporting material so that we can hopefully shine you in the best light possible. Yeah. Good night, folks. United Compliance, baby!